Hello, hello, hello. My message to everyone is don't drink alcohol and don't take drugs. Get healthy, keep warm, keep your animals warm and healthy, okay? And if you are invited to a party, let's say New Year's Eve or something in Vegas, at the casino, or at your favorite Hollywood movie star's home. Okay? It doesn't matter where that is. Okay? Go alcohol free. Go with your cup like this. Thank you, I have some mineral water. And then you drink the mineral water or orange juice or apple juice with ice cubes on it. Tastes really good. And you can also drink soy milk with ice cubes, tastes delicious. Or hazelnut milk with ice cubes is absolutely super delicious. My favorite soy milk is from Eden Foods. Eden Foods, my favorite store. Eden Foods carob soy milk with ice cubes. Oh, that is the best of all. It doesn't get any better than that. It is the ultimate. It really is. It is the absolute. Got myself a cow hat. It is really, really, really warm, this cow hat. Really, really comfortable and cozy. I love it. And I got myself an elephant hat. I'll show that in another video. And I got myself an orange outfit with beautifully insulated pants. Really, really love it. Even got my husband into this because he gets cold also. Gets cold feet a lot. So this will keep us warm. So I recommend that to other people too, particularly to people who get cold feet, who have diabetes or something like this. I don't have diabetes, but I also get cold feet. And who get bladder infections, which is what happened to me a lot. So, but it hasn't happened anymore because I take really good care of this situation now. I got into protecting myself from cold. My husband tends to turn the heater down, so I started to get into sewing my own extended. First I started with sweater extensions. I took, like, for example, I took my Patagonia sweater, which is really short. It's really a foot and a half too short for me because my back is about a foot and a half longer than the average back. I guess that has to do with the region I evolved in. It is colder there, so the people there have to have longer torsos to stay warmer. And so I got into making a lot of sweater extensions, by about a foot to a foot and a half, sometimes 2 feet. And then I started to getting into making my own sweaters that come way over my hips. Then I started to get into making my own pants. And I have more material over there in the corner with which I want to make double layered pants for home, just to be at home, cozy pants. Cozy fleece pants. And I made a bunch of sweaters. They're all really, really cute and funky and playful. And I got a real nice jacket to match this pants too. Also a puffer jacket. But I just had to take it off because it is suddenly it's getting warm in here. Because the sun was up earlier, and when the sun is up, then in this region here, the sun is always a little higher than the area that I originally come from, which is northern Germany. So in northern Germany in the wintertime, the sun is always it stays at the horizon. Kind of stays pretty much like, I would say, maybe it goes, the farthest up it goes is about 30% above the horizon, something like that. And here it gets the farthest the sun goes up in the winter time is approximately, I don't know, 50-60% above the horizon. So that makes a lot of difference in heat. So, and particularly in this room here, when the sun is up, this room heats up because we have this entire window front on three sides, actually, windows, big windows, and even balcony door on this side, and then big windows on that side as well. So, and the balcony also creates extra heat in there. The greenhouse, the little greenhouse that is attached to the balcony. So that really helps. And then I also turned the heater on top of it to use that momentum of heat. Because yesterday it was so cold and gray that it would have taken 10 hours for the heater to even have any effect. And so I decided, has no sense, then I better stay in the living room since we have some heaters on in there already. So yeah, it's we don't heat the whole house for ecological reasons. And then my husband, even though I pay for electricity, my husband is extra picky with it because he thinks he gets overheated. So I think it's I just can't imagine that someone get overheated in 60 degrees. So for me, 60 degrees is just simply not warm enough. And when you have animals with short hair, 60 degrees is not warm enough for sure. You have to have at least 70 degrees to be comfortable. So it's getting in here, it's about 69, maybe 70 now. So that is getting quite comfortable. So then when you have it 70, you don't need to cover your dogs. But I would say if it's below 70 in the house, I suggest you cover your dogs with a blanket. Short-haired dogs. Okay. Basset hounds, Great Danes, Greyhounds, Pit Bull Terriers, English Bulldogs, Mastino Neapolitanos, all of those have short hair and they need to be covered when it is below 70 degrees. So it's very important. So never leave a dog outside. Never, 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 never. In any region. Never leave an animal outside. Okay? They want to be with you, particularly dogs. Dogs are family members, and they are not independently roaming animals like cats are. So dogs they are friend animals, companion animals, and they want to be with other companions. So that's how they evolved. They sleep with the companions. They sleep. The wolves always sleep together in caves and in dens. They sleep snuggled up to each other. Okay? And that's how the dogs want to sleep too, either with other animals or with people, humans. They want to be with their human friends in bed, snuggled up to them. And if it's cold, if it's below 70 degrees, you have to cover them, when they have short hair. Particularly when they're sleeping at night, because then the body temperature goes down a bit. Very important. Beautiful outside. Very, very gorgeous. I was in the garden, and when I got up today, I always make sure that the deer have not trampled on the fence, because yesterday, this was very strange. That was a strange thing. Yesterday, around 11 a.m. or something, I woke up with this horrible, horrible, horrible dream. Oh my God. I was dragging myself through a forest, and there were these mudslide roads that were going downhill, and little streams have engraved grooves into that mud, into the kaolin clay earth. And first I was on a bicycle, then I was kind of like swimming, then I was running. It's like in the dream everything becomes jumbled up. And I was running, and I could barely move ahead, move forward, make any movement forward, because my body was paralyzed, because I was dreaming. So I was not actually moving, so that always gives this illusion in the dream of being paralyzed, because we are. The motor cortex is sleeping, is resting. Okay, so it doesn't give any signals, and that often gets confused in dreams with dreaming of being almost like lucid dreaming, of being paralyzed and not being able, wanting to move forward and thinking I am moving forward, but then I'm not really moving forward, and I can't really make any progress. And in particular, it is not a dream where you just casually walking along or running for fun or something. No, it's usually a situation in which you have to move forward quickly, because you have to get from A to B in order to take care of something, a task or something, or you're running away from something. So in this instance, my dream was about getting to my papa dog, and he was in some kind of rental house, and I had to get there very fast. And it was a horribly, horribly scary dream, and to get to my papa dog. So I wake up, and I had this instinct, just because, this is the dog mother instinct, this is the psychic instinct. So I had this instinct because of the dream. I thought I better check on the fence. So there's one part of the fence that I can't see from the lawn, because it is in the corner and it is surrounded by a lot of trees and brush. So I had to go into that corner, and lo and behold, what do I see? The deer have trampled down the fence to about 1.5 feet. And I thought, oh my goodness, that is a dangerous height for the papa dog. He could potentially walk over that, particularly because the fence was like trampled down in some kind of like a bridge almost, where papa dog could actually walk over this. So I quickly had to fix the fence, and bring the wires back to its regular shape. And so I know one thing for sure, we have to put another fence post in there to make sure that the fence does not get trampled down anymore. And I'm also very worried that the deer might get caught on that fence. It's not a barbed wire fence, it's a straight wire fence, and it has square loops like this size. But I'm always worried that maybe a deer might get caught in that with the hoof or something, which I've seen on YouTube. And then people have to help the deer and they have to cut the wires, and the deer is very afraid, and it's very dramatic and scary and nerve-wracking. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want the animals to get into a situation where they have to be afraid. So, and sometimes they have baby deer, and I don't know if they can make it over the fence, but they always come over the fence because they think the grass is greener on the other side. They wanna, or they also like my roses very much, that the smell of the rose leaves, that they can smell that from far. They like that so much. So, and then I looked at the other places, and in 2 other places I had to fix the fence that was trampled down. So it was my psychic instinct, you know. We can really trust our psychic instincts. Yes, Pavetta, that is awesome to have that. It is very awesome. Very, very nice. I was so grateful to my blue god to give me this great intuition through the dream, and just through this kind of guessing that I better check the fence. I don't always check the fence, but when I clean up the lawn, I always go into all these niches and corners, and I check the fence and make sure that it is still okay. And it is nice. It's nice to have something to do, some kind of task, some kind of responsibility that gets you out, you know, whether you have to walk your dog, or if you live somewhere where you don't have a garden, or when you have a garden, to go out there with your dog and to clean up the grass and to check the fence and to walk, do the Zen walk with your dog around the whole garden. It's nice, you know, in any kind of temperature and weather. It is nice to do because you get oxygen into your lungs. Very important. Breathing. Always remember to breathe. Always remember to breathe, and never do anything in a rush or out of force, or out of some kind of doing 2 things at once, or, you know, always do things gradually, mindfully, consciously, planned, not abruptly, not like abrupt knee-jerk reactions, which, you know, I've been through all of this myself. It still happens sometimes. And then I realized, oh, I wasn't breathing. My mind was on 10 things at once, and then I tried to do all of this, juggle all these things at once with the household, and it doesn't work. Things fall, and or you fall, or something breaks, or I scratch something because I'm holding a broom and a jacket at the same time, or something, you know, something like that. Breathe and lay one thing aside and take care of one thing. And breathe. You you're not, nobody is whipping you. No one is drilling you. You know, you can take your time and do everything in your own pace. I really recommend for people to do this. Very important, particularly for people who are taking care of their households. It's very important. Vacuuming. That's one of these things where my back tends to ache. I tend to get exhausted because I'm out of shape, and then I want to get this done real quick, you know, and then I make a mistake, or the lamp falls, or this or that. So if I get exhausted, I have to always pay attention to my body. Does my back ache? Then I have to listen to my back, and I have to say, okay, back, I'm going to sit down for a moment. I'm going to put the vacuum cleaner away. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to drink my tea. I meditate. I breathe. Okay. And then when you are a little bit recovered, you go back to the vacuum cleaner, you turn it back on, and you gradually move through your house. And then things get done better and with more care, and you feel better, your body feels better, your mind feels better, and so on. And we don't make so many mistakes. Thich Nhat Hanh always points out the importance of breathing, always remembering I am here right now and not over there. I can't be forcing anything. I can only do things gradually and mindfully, and then things get done better, and we take better care of ourselves. Very important. I have to always remind myself of these things every day, because we get caught up with different tasks and different plans and different frenzies and short-term planning, long-term planning, and the panic. Oh gosh, how are we going to manage this? How is that going to work out? How are we going to do this? But if we sit down in meditation and we let go for a moment completely, then the answers for those riddles and for those headaches, the answers will come. Okay? They come by themselves, naturally. And that's really cool. It's really nice. Whatever problem you have, if you are working on a math problem, which I have during my high school years, I would let go of it, go in the kitchen, eat something, watch a movie, go back to the math problem, and suddenly it's a no-brainer almost. So, yeah, it's a full brainer. And the brain is full suddenly with the solution. There is the math solution. It's right there. My goodness. If I just put my mind on it, I will be giving the math lecture the next day in class, even though I'm not into math. It's just about putting your mind on it and doing it the right way. Doing something, you encounter a problem, like with my new Kindle Fire, for example. This is a bit embarrassing, but I think, I know a little bit more now about approximately how to fiddle around on a tablet. I haven't had a Kindle Fire yet, so I had to fiddle around and see where everything is. Never comes with any instructions. I wonder how someone who, like a grandmother who got a Kindle Fire for Christmas and who is 80 years old and has never been doing anything like this, I wonder how she is gonna fiddle around with that and figure all of this out without instructions. That's just my question. So, no, it is not very consumer usable friendly, not very user friendly, so not very consumer friendly. That's why if I had a more techy brain, I would definitely create all of these things, everything. I would make all of this from scratch. I would make my dream tablets. I would make my dream computers. I would make it all consumer friendly. I would make consumer friendly clothes, kind of like this hat here. This is nice. This is consumer friendly. It's warm. It's cozy. It makes you smile. It feels good. So this is consumer friendly. It feels good. It looks good. It makes you smile. This shirt here is consumer friendly. It is it's fun. It's a fun color. The pants are okay. The problem with the pants is, but they don't have any other pants in my size, unfortunately. I had to return one. It was way too small. That had the rubber top. So, which I think it's so much better to have a rubber top, but it was only made for a child. So, made in China for Chinese petite ladies with size 4 or something. So I have men's size extra large. So anyway, yeah, the top here of these Arctic pants, the Arctic pants are great, really great. But the top of those, they have a Velcro, and I scratch my hand on that Velcro scratch thing, and it hurts a little bit. I have sensitive skin, and so, and then it is sometimes when they get too big after a while. So I lost some weight, so my extra large one, my double extra large ones, they're not too big, so I have to alter them with, and it's kind of difficult to do, but I can do it. And I just it has a rubber band in the back, but I can adjust it and make it a little bit tighter. But pants, for example, they should not have some scratchy Velcro on the top where you can hurt your skin, because you have to pull your pants up. So, and then you can scratch on the hand, and I don't like this. I don't like any of these things that are uncomfortable. So these pants here would be awesome if it just had a rubber top, like a real high quality wide rubber band in the top, and doesn't even need a zipper. Maybe for men. This is a man's pants, so I don't care. So, but I don't care if I wear men's pants with flies in it and stuff like this, fly zipper. But for women's pants or universal pants, men can pull the pants down too. They don't have to use the zipper in the front. So, but maybe they get cold when they're in a public restroom. Yeah, I don't know. Could be. I don't know how that works. So, no, but for women, it should definitely be a rubber top seam, with a real stretchy, mega stretchy rubber band and then the pants roomy enough, so that they can be stretched a little bit. You can pull them on easily, and they stay on. They don't slide off your hips, particularly when you don't have hips like Beyonce. You have the German hips. pants can slide down. You know. That's why the Germans, they often have suspenders. So yeah, but you know, where it stays up and keeps the love handles squished in, yeah, that would be awesome. That would be very, very consumer friendly to have pants like this. And I already have this all in my head how to make this, but I don't even know where to get this material. I don't know how to get, I don't have a sewing machine. I would have to sew all of this by hand. I don't have the right needles for it. I would have needles that are where the tip is shaped in a diamond type of shape, where it pokes through heavier material. And I don't even have any of this, so I have to do all of the sewing with. I have two needles that the other needles are unusable. They're so tiny that it's just a scam, I think. So, but the two needles, one is for sewing with fleece materials, the thicker one, and the thinner one is sewing with cotton, and it is a sewing meditation. I take a lot of time to sew, and it teaches me so incredibly much when I do sewing. It teaches me mindfulness and patience. It teaches me infinite patience. And it's wonderful. You know. I have cried. You better believe it. I cried many times during sewing. I poke myself in the finger. I have to do a finger hat to protect my fingertips when I am holding the fabric and I'm sewing through it. So, yeah, those are all learning experiences, and these are skills that have to be practiced. And the most important thing is to get the right fabric and to know how to make the right template for it, the right shape. That's really the key here. That is the that is the art of the fashion designer, is to create the right shape. And so I'm constantly thinking about these things in my head and very excited about this. And I see making clothes is a real art form. It's a real art. It's you are an artist. John, for example, John Galliano is an artist, you know, or Vivienne Westwood. They are real artists. And it's really fascinating for me. I saw this real great conversation with a lady was on stage with John Galliano, and he was showing a couple of pieces that he made, including a wedding dress. And my gosh, these dresses, they reminded me so much of the work by Jonathan Meses, and he's a German artist. Particularly the wedding dress. My goodness, it looked like Jonathan Mese could have designed that. That is like straight out of Jonathan Mese's dummy doll artistry decoration with all these little ornaments and then spray painted afterwards in white. And so all these little ornaments and then little jewelry things and toys and all of this molded together into this almost like a womb type of basket in front of the chest. And just really interesting. I mean, these two men, they should meet. They should definitely meet. And they also should meet with the comedian and artist Helge Schneider from Germany also. And John Galliano is from Spain, and I think he is, right now he lives in New York. He has lived in England for a long time, so he has an English accent. And these three artists, they should meet. Absolutely. Absolutely. That would be my dream. I would love to be their dummy doll and have them have all three of them decorate my body. That would be so cool. So each of them contribute something else to it. Make me a nice artist sculpture costume. That would be really awesome. And and then I would help to decorate each one of them as well. That'd be awesome. I will bring a lot of pink into it. A lot of pink materials, a lot of fleece, a lot of nurturing stuff I would bring in and wrap around them and cradle them and give them the love that they need. It's very important. Amazing people. I'm so glad that those people exist. They make me smile, they make me feel better. And Vivienne Westwood is awesome too. Absolutely awesome. She's a god level soul. She's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Her work, her activism. Her work is part of her activism, and her activism is part of her entire work. So she brings this all together. She brings people together. She helps people in all countries. Fantastic, amazing woman. Amazing, amazing. Helps to protect the planet. Incredible woman. I see a lot of people don't know about these cultural things. Most people in the world are walking around blinded by talk radio and whatever is forces itself into the foreground in social media. You know. Whatever is also propagated by the corporate agenda, okay, to keep people uninformed, to blind people, to block the other cultural things away, to the popular stuff that keeps people dumbed down. Pay attention to these things. Don't stay dumbed down. You will thank me later. You might get mad at me now, whoever it is, a troll out there, but you'll thank me later and think back to me and say, yeah, she brought this culture closer to me. She made me look at this. I was mad at first, but now I'm glad. So look at culture. Don't ignore it. Don't let it bead off your outside sponge, or rain jacket. Let it in. Let it in, even if it doesn't say anything to you at first. Let it in. While you're doing something, you're cleaning the house, you can listen to an interview with Vivienne Westwood. After a while, it starts to sink in. It starts to make sense after a while. And then suddenly you listen to the radio, the talk radio again, and you go, oh, now I get it. That guy's wrong. He's been wrong all along and I didn't even see it. Yeah, that requires digging deeper than the shallow in-your-face video games and talk radio and reality shows. It requires to dig a lot deeper. Most people, when they do research on Google, they don't research anything very well. They take the next best thing presented by ExxonMobil and the Christian Church and they run off with it. That's not giving you any answers to things. Okay. Or people being easily appeased with an explanation delivered to the public by ExxonMobil and Eli Lilly and Monsanto or the weapon industry. No, we have to, each person is responsible to dig a little bit deeper into it and find out what's really happening. Are there different agendas out there that are all trying to push their way into the forefront to blend out their competitors and the sensitive things that will make people smarter? Listening to Mozart, scientists found out that it makes people smarter. Just listening to Mozart alone, to the music, makes people smarter. Wow, what's happening? How is this coming about? So I can only theorize on it and say there's an energetic field that is created by the music from Mozart or any of these very sensitive composers, any of these amazing geniuses. So, but particularly with Mozart, they found out that it was raising people's IQs. There's an energy about it that taps into your inner child, that taps into your whole body and your cells. It makes you more connected from within. It tunes you into the infinite cosmos. It really does. I've been listening to Mozart's Requiem today with Edith Mattis and Carl Böhm, the conductor. Incredible recording. Incredible. I get goosebumps when I listen to that. It's very powerful. Very powerful. That's also holistic healing. All of this is holistic healing. It really is. Or listen to Bach's Christmas Oratorium. Wonderful. There are wonderful recordings out there. Sexy. I always say sexy to Papa because he's so gorgeous. I say that all day long. Papa Dog is sexy. Yes. So what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, I see there's a lot of groups now on the internet where they're trying to become more sociable or more socially adept, more socially capable to learn how to do a conversation, to learn how to fit into that society that they always wanted to belong to. So that's a those are big subjects right now on the internet, and it makes me sad to see that there are people that seem to not even know how to communicate. So they join some kind of counselor who is also neurotic, who also denies herself or himself, and in the process doesn't really help the client. So my message to the world is to the counselors to make people become more etiquette conscious, and to the counselors who are helping men get a woman. So, and I love them, you know, they mean well, they want to do better, but I see their pain too. You know. The first step is we have to become conscious within ourselves. This is very important. Meditation plays a huge role in this, huge. And then we can help other people, you know. If we are in this process ourselves of introspection, then we can share that, what comes out of the fruits that come out of that, we can share that with other people. So my message to all of them, the counselors and the clients, you know, so to my message to all of those is the only path that we have is to go within ourselves, each person for themselves, to go within themselves. And that you do this in meditation. You sit down and you don't want anything from anyone anymore. That is how you go within yourself. You stop wanting. Stop wanting anything from your husband, boyfriend, date, group, parents, whoever that is. Stop wanting anything and see how that feels. Sit with it and say to yourself, I'm letting go of all wanting right now. I'm letting it all go. I'm letting my shoulders fall down. I'm breathing. I'm sitting up straight, and I let everything, I let it all be. I'm not going to control anyone anymore. I'm not controlling her or your daughter or whoever that is. Husband or whatever. Wife. Don't control. Just do it for an hour. Don't control anything. Let it be. It's the same as leaving the math problem alone and doing something else. The same principle. You sit down, you stop wanting to solve the math problem, you stop wanting to make your corporation take off just for an hour. Elon Musk too. Just sit with it. Yes, there are terrible people in the world, and they are trying to sabotage Elon Musk. But you still have to sit in meditation. You still have to let these people go, you know. Let all of these mafiosi, stockbroker, oil executor, and oil middlemen, let them go for a moment. Let them be. Let go from that problem for an hour. Really let go. See what comes up. Maybe something comes up. Maybe some pain comes up. You can talk to me anytime about this. I would love to talk to Elon Musk. I have so much to say to him. And also to Jeff Bezos. I have a lot to say to them, to those people. A lot, you know. Listen, listen to a fan, listen to a customer sometimes. Listen to a customer with insight. A lot can come out of that. A lot can come out of this. So, but sit down and just relax. Let go. Jeff Bezos already knows how to, you know, structure his day. So he does take time for himself. Very important for Elon to do the same thing. Very important, very important. Do the same thing. You have a body. Your Elon is a Buddha level soul. There are only two of those in the world. One is Bomjan in India. And yes, you get into bodies that are able to do much more than other bodies. But your bodies are not. They are still bodies. They are not metaphysical. You can't do everything you want. You can't abuse your bodies. Okay? You can't do that. Your bodies need sleep. Bomjan was able to sit in meditation for half a year without eating or going to the bathroom or drinking. Yeah, it's quite something. Meditation can get you very far, very far. You can develop amazing skills, amazing energetic potential. So I want Elon to listen to his colleague in India, to the other Buddha level soul, Bomjan, and let him tell Elon how to meditate. Very important. And maybe Elon can help Bomjan to come out of this community where he is in India, where they are all turning against Bomjan. They're all turning against him. Just like they're turning against Elon. And why? Because these Buddha level souls, they're here to help. And someone who's here to help stands inevitably in the path of corruption and all that exploitation that the corporations want to do, and suddenly there's someone that blocks their path and says, no, you can't destroy this planet. And so naturally they hate him. Naturally they all slander them. And people who take the next radio station and listen to this, they will be brainwashed in that corporate direction and never get the chance to see things from the other perspective, from the perspective of Elon Musk and Bomjan, or Paul Watson, or Ingrid Newkirk, Captain Paul Watson, Peter Hammerstedt, Simone Reyes. I don't see these people very often in the news. They try to obscure these people, the media, as much as they don't want people to see those. They want people to see only those that are giving, that are catering and helping along with the exploitation and the corporate greed and all this. Because everything is run by corporate interest. The people who have something to say are being marginalized, slandered, and obscured from the public. And killed, too. It's going to happen to me one day. I'm going to be shot. And I have the feeling I'm going to be shot by a bullet drawn in the head one day. So, to shut me up. It's going to happen. It's inevitable situation now. But I will be glad if it even comes to that point, because if they feel the need